Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Legendary actor Dharmendra passes away at 89. Bollywood mourns the loss of its beloved He-Man. End of an era, says PM Modi. Ukrainian president expresses hope as the US hails progress towards peace plan in Geneva, says Kiev open to balanced compromises but insists Russia must pay for the war in Ukraine. And South Africa in commanding position as the lead stretches to 314 after the end of third day's play against host India in Guwahati. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Monday that Kiev would continue to work with its partners on compromises on US peace proposals to strengthen, not weaken Ukraine. Speaking via video link at a Crimean platform summit being held in Sweden, Zelensky said Russia must pay for the conflict in Ukraine and that a decision on using frozen Russian assets was crucial. The United States and Ukraine were set to continue work on Monday on a plan to end the war with Russia after agreeing to modify an earlier proposal that was widely seen as too favorable to Moscow. Meanwhile, the Kremlin said on Monday it would wait to see how talks between the United States and Ukraine on a potential peace plan pan out before commenting. The discussions held in Geneva on Sunday involved a refined peace framework following criticism of an earlier 28-point plan. Russian President Vladimir Putin indicated that US proposals could form a basis for resolving the conflict, but warned that Russian forces could advance if Kiev rejected the plan. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov emphasized that Russia had not received any official outcomes and was monitoring media reports cautiously. And European Union ministers are looking to urge top US trade officials on Monday to cut US tariffs on EU steel and remove them for EU goods. US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and US Trade Representative Jamieson Greer will meet EU ministers responsible for trade on their first trips to Brussels since taking office. The EU ministers plan to discuss pressing trade issues, including Chinese rare earth and chip exports restrictions.
Also recognize that more work lies ahead, especially on steels and derivatives, where we seek both to reduce tariff and to confront global overcapacity together. And this is a priority area for the EU, as recently demonstrated by the adoption of our steel regulation to help restore balance to the EU steel market. And finally, we discussed the forward-looking agenda, including critical minerals, where we share the goal of securing reliable supplies while strengthening our respective industrial base.
The President of the European Union, Ursula von der Leyen, opened the EU-African Union Summit in Angola's capital on Monday with major investment pledges across key sectors of the African economy. Addressing delegates in Luanda, von der Leyen said Europe remains Africa's largest trading partner and is committed to increasing its investment on the continent by 150 billion euros by 2027.
Summit indeed in 2022. The global environment has become harsher, but the relationship between Africa and Europe has only grown closer. Europe is Africa's largest trading partner. 1/3 of Africa's total trade is with Europe, and we are Africa's largest investor with 240 billion euros in 2023 alone. And at this summit, we're boosting our support. The African Development Bank says that a true single market here could increase continental income $450 billion in total. That means massive opportunities for Africa and for the world.
Now, European Union leaders met on the sidelines of the summit in Luanda to discuss possible pathways to peace in Ukraine. The informal gathering comes as the United States and Ukraine continue negotiations in Switzerland on a modified peace proposal after both sides agreed to revise an earlier US plan that Kiev and its European partners had rejected as too favorable to Moscow. Now, the Department of Government Efficiency, launched by US President Donald Trump and initially led by Elon Musk, has quietly disbanded with 8 months left on its official mandate. Scott Cooper, director of the Office of Personnel Management, said that doesn't exist when asked about DOGE's status. He added that there's no agency is no longer a centralized entity. Many of DOGE's functions have now been absorbed by the management, which oversees federal workforce management. The agency, set up in January, made dramatic forays across Washington in the early months of Trump's second term to rapidly shrink federal agencies, cut their budgets or redirect their work to Trump priorities. Trump administration officials have not openly said that DOGE no longer exists even after Musk's public feud with Trump in May. Musk has since left Washington. Republican-led states including Idaho and Florida, meanwhile, are creating local entities similar to DOGE. Now, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi said on Sunday that she did not meet with Chinese Premier Li Qiang during the G20, but emphasized that her country was open to various forms of dialogue with China. A diplomatic spat between China and Japan has intensified since Takaichi told Parliament on November 7 that any Chinese attack on Taiwan could trigger a military response from Tokyo.
Since there are issues and challenges between Japan and China, I believe we should reduce them and increase understanding and cooperation. Japan remains open to various forms of dialogue with China. We have not closed any doors. It is important that within this context, Japan insists its positions where necessary. We will continue to respond appropriately based on this stance.
Now, China wants closer collaboration with Germany. That's what the Chinese Premier pitched to Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz at the sidelines of the G20 summit, which wrapped up in South Africa. Ties between two of the world's largest economies are improving. And for more on this, we are joined by DW correspondent Warda Imran in Berlin. Hi, Warda. Let's start with the meeting between top Chinese and German officials. What was discussed?
Thanks for having me. The relationship between Berlin and Beijing is improving, and China wants these ties to be even better and stronger. On the sidelines of the G20 summit, China's Premier Li Qiang pitched closer collaboration with Germany after a tumultuous time recently. Li said he hoped that Germany would maintain a pragmatic approach to China, focus on shared interests and cooperation. That's what a Chinese state handout released yesterday said. China is incredibly important to Germany as a market and also as a partner. So I think Germany will accept this call to collaborate, especially as China holds access to some of the most crucial elements like rare earths that Germany desperately needs.
But also, the two economies are tied together in many ways. In which sectors would the two collaborate?
Yes, China and Germany are two of the biggest economies in the world. China bought $95 billion worth of German goods last year. Around 12% of these purchases were cars. That's what Chinese data shows. And Germany is among China's top 10 trading partners. And Berlin purchased over $100 billion worth of Chinese goods, with chips and electronic components dominating. Now, some of the sectors the two economic powers can collaborate are biomedicine, hydrogen energy technology, smart manufacturing, intelligent driving, and coming up with new energy. So these were named by the Chinese premier himself. Now, for Germany, China is a market like no other for cars, but also for chemicals and pharmaceuticals. German companies have a large presence in China, so this close tie between the two countries is important.
All right, Warda, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for your inputs. Let's now take a look at some stories making news around the world. Snapchat has begun asking teenage Australians to verify their ages this week before Canberra enforces sweeping laws banning under-16s from social media. From December 10, Australia will force social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram and TikTok, to remove users under the age of 16 or face hefty fines. Members of a local winter swimming club braved minus 30 degrees Celsius air temperatures on Sunday in Sakha, also known as Yakutia, one of the world's coldest regions. Those who swim in the cold water believe it boosts their immunity and fortifies their body against any diseases. Ukrainian free diving champion Katerina Sadurska set a new world record in Dominica on Monday in the constant weight, no fins discipline with a dive to 86 meters, bringing her total to 8 world records. The dive was completed in 3 minutes 32 seconds at the Blue Element Competition 2025. And Abu Dhabi has opened the Middle East's largest natural history museum. A 35,000 square meter venue featuring standout exhibits including 2 of the most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex skeletons ever found, a towering Triceratops and a 45.8 kilogram lunar rock that visitors are allowed to touch. Authorities started recovery efforts in central Vietnam as the death toll from flooding had risen to 91 over the weekend, with 11 still missing on Monday. The government estimates the flooding has cost the economy around $341 million. Over 235,000 houses were flooded and nearly 80,000 hectares of crops were damaged. All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Justice Surya Kant takes oath as 53rd Chief Justice of India. President Draupadi Murmu administers the oath. And India-Bhutan bond shines with sacred relics visit. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. Justice Surya Kant was sworn in as the 53rd Chief Justice of India, marking the beginning of his around 14-month tenure in the country's highest judicial office. President Draupadi Murmu administered the oath of office to Justice Kant, who succeeds incumbent CJI Bhushan R. Gavai. Across a distinguished 4-decade career, Justice Surya Kant has presided over thousands of cases, introduced novel interpretations and authored path-breaking judgments. From complex constitutional matters to human rights petitions, Justice Surya Kant's career epitomizes a harmonious blend of judicial service with empathy, academic excellence and an unwavering commitment to the rule of law. Moving on, India's Minister for Minority Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs, Kiren Rijiju, who is on a 2-day visit to Thimphu, Bhutan to accompany Lord Buddha's holy relics back to India, met the Prime Minister of Bhutan on Monday. In a deeply cordial interaction, the Bhutanese Prime Minister expressed heartfelt gratitude to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Government of India for sending the sacred relics to Bhutan and for extending their public exposition. Bhutan's PM also described PM Modi as his mentor, underscoring the personal warmth and trust that define the special relationship between the two nations. Minister Rijiju said the Government of India is pleased to witness the profound reverence the Bhutanese people have shown towards the relics, which motivated the extension of the exposition. During the meeting, Rijiju and the Bhutanese Prime Minister jointly released a special booklet featuring 23 significant sites in India associated with Guru Rinpoche, reaffirming the deep spiritual and cultural bonds that connect India and Bhutan. Rejiju, along with PM of Bhutan, also visited the Parliament of Bhutan. Now, Ayodhya once again stands on the threshold of a grand celebration. Preparations in the birthplace of Lord Ram are at the peak. Tuesday will witness the sacred religious flag, which is Dharmendra, being hoisted atop the pinnacle of the Ram Mandir. Crores of Ram devotees across the country are eagerly waiting for the darshan of this holy flag that will flutter at a height of 191 feet. Prime Minister Modi will also bear witness this historic moment. The holy city is drenched in devotion, enthusiasm and spiritual energy. Gautam Roy reports from Ayodhya.
Ayodhya is ready to dazzle once again. The birthplace of Lord Ram is putting its best foot forward. The occasion is the hoisting of the Dharmendra, or the sacred flag, on the Ram Janmabhoomi temple. Devotional songs dedicated to Lord Ram are playing on the streets of Ayodhya. Bhajans and kirtans are being performed all around. On Tuesday, at an auspicious moment, the religious flag will be hoisted atop the Ram temple at its highest point. The entire city of Ayodhya has been adorned like a bride for the occasion.
Flag hosting ceremony on the top of the main temple. Main temple means Ram Janmabhoomi temple. So the flag will reach up to the top of 191 feet high from the zero level or the ground level or the courtyard level.
The sacred flag will be hoisted on the temple at a height of 191 feet. The Dharmendra is 22 feet in length and 11 feet wide. The flag weighs 2.5 kgs and bears the symbol of the sun. It signifies the emblem of the Surya Vansh, or the solar dynasty, along with the Om symbol. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in this ceremony along with RSS Chief Dr. Mohan Bhagwat. The Prime Minister's roadshow is to start from Saket Mahavidyalaya and proceed up to the Ram Mandir. Amid the chanting of Vedic mantras, the saffron-coloured flag will be hoisted on the temple's pinnacle. An atmosphere of celebration and enthusiasm prevails throughout Ayodhya regarding the flag hoisting program. The hoisting of the flag symbolizes that the temple is now complete.
It is the symbol of dedication, samarpana. So it is a very pious flag. This is the significance of this flag. And the ceremony indicates that the construction of the main temple is more or less complete. Temple work is complete.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has also written a letter to the people of the state. He has said that Ayodhya has regained its glory through the sacrifices of countless saints, Ram devotees and warriors.
Lord Ram is among the most revered deities in the 33 types of deities, gods and goddesses in the Hindu faith. The completion of a temple in Ayodhya at his birthplace is of tremendous significance to those who not only follow the religion, but also the belief that Ram is truth, Ram is sacrifice, he's valor, and also the fulfillment of the destiny of the greatness of India. With camera person Sunil, Gautam Roy, Ayodhya, DD India.
Moving on, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated the Haryana Pavilion for the International Gita Mahotsav on Monday in Kurukshetra, Haryana. The festival, running since November 15, is expected to draw over 70 lakh participants, with Madhya Pradesh as this year's partner state. A 3-day international Gita seminar began on Monday at Kurukshetra University, with the city decorated and a cleanliness drive underway. An External Affairs Minister, Dr. Ajay Shankar, extended his greetings on the occasion of 10th International Gita Mahotsav. He highlighted how the Ministry of External Affairs is collaborating with various organizations to promote and internationalize the Mahotsav.
The Ministry of External Affairs is associating with the Government of Haryana, the Kurukshetra Development Board, and our partner state Madhya Pradesh, and various other organizations to internationalize this Mahotsav. As the lead organization in this global endeavor, the ministry has played a pivotal role in amplifying the Gita's resonance across continents. In collaboration with missions abroad, the ministry has identified distinguished foreign scholars who will participate in the celebrations, bringing diverse perspectives to this spiritual dialogue.
Legendary Hindi film actor Dharmendra has passed away in Mumbai at the age of 89. Over a career spanning 6 decades, the He-Man of Indian cinema appeared in more than 300 films, many of them unforgettable era-defining hits. Diptanshu Kashyap brings us this report on his life and legacy.
One of Hindi cinema's most beloved icons, Dharmendra, fondly known as the He-Man of Hindi movies, passed away in Mumbai at the age of 89. The film fraternity and millions of admirers are mourning the loss of an actor whose charm, versatility, and screen presence shaped generations of Indian moviegoers. Paying tribute to the late actor, Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrote on social media platform X, "The passing of Dharmendra ji marks the end of an era in Indian cinema. He was an iconic film personality, a phenomenal actor who brought charm and depth to every role he played. His diverse performances struck a chord with countless people. Dharmendra ji was equally admired for his simplicity, humility, and warmth. My thoughts are with his family, friends, and innumerable fans. Om Shanti." Born Dharm Singh Deval on December 8, 1935, in Sahnewal in Punjab's Ludhiana district, Dharmendra grew up in a modest household. His journey to cinema began after winning a Filmfare talent hunt. The promised film never materialized, but it brought him to Bombay, where he began his struggle for roles. He made his debut in 1960 with Dil Bhi Tera, Hum Bhi Tere. Over the next 2 decades, he delivered some of Hindi cinema's most memorable performances in Aankhein, Shikar, Aaya Sawan Jhoom Ke, Jeevan Mrityu, Mera Gaon Mera Desh, Sita Aur Geeta, and the iconic Sholay. His on-screen chemistry with Meena Kumari and later Hema Malini captivated audiences, with the later pairing evolving into a love story that made headlines across India. In his later years, Dharmendra continued to work across genres, appearing in Apne, the Yamla Pagla Divana series, the second chapter, and Karan Johar's Rocky Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani in 2023. He was last seen in the 2024 film Teri Baaton Mein Aisa Uljha Jiya and was set to appear in Sriram Raghavan's upcoming war drama Ikkis. A recipient of the Filmfare Lifetime Achievement Award in 1997, Dharmendra was honored with the Padma Bhushan in 2012 for his outstanding contribution to Indian cinema. Beyond films, he served as a Member of Parliament from 2004 to 2009, representing Bikaner in Rajasthan. His legacy, spanning 6 decades and hundreds of beloved performances, will continue to inspire generations of film lovers. Diptanshu Kashyap's report for DD India.
Sports updates now. We'll start with cricket. South Africa are in driver's seat after the end of third day's play in the second and final test against host India in Guwahati. The visitors ended the day on high with a lead of 314 runs. South Africa are none down with 26 runs on the board at stumps. Marco Jansen ran through India's batting lineup one after another to bowl them out for 201. India suffered a dramatic batting slide from 95 for 1 to 201 all out. Only Yashasvi Jaiswal and Washington Sundar provided notable resistance. Kuldeep Yadav battled hard as well, facing 134 balls for his 19 as he and Washington added a gritty 72-run stand for the 8th wicket after India slipped to 122 for 7. Marco Jansen ended up with 6 wickets while off-spinner Simon Harmer returned with figures of 3 for 64. South Africa, having won the first test in Kolkata by 30 runs, are now well positioned to push for a rare test series victory in India. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the Indian boxers after their exemplary performance at the World Boxing Cup finals. PM Modi posted on X, and I quote him here: "Our phenomenal athletes delivered an extraordinary record-breaking performance at the World Boxing Cup Finals 2025. They brought home an unprecedented 20 medals, including 9 gold medals. This is due to the resolve and determination of our boxers. Congratulations to them. Best wishes for the endeavours ahead. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi commended the Indian blind women's cricket team after they clinched the inaugural Blind Women's T20 World Cup. PM Modi posted on X, and I quote him, "Congratulations to Indian blind women's cricket team for creating history by winning the inaugural Blind Women's T20 World Cup. More commendable is the fact that they stayed unbeaten in the series. This is indeed a historic sporting achievement, a shining example of hard work, teamwork and determination. Each player is a champion. My best wishes to the team for their future endeavours. This feat will inspire generations to come." Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.